Today I am going to tell you about how to get the most out of a trip to Disneyland. There are so many things to see at Disneyland that if you don't make a plan or don't have any idea what you're doing, it can cause frustration and you may miss out on some things that you really wanted to see. Disneyland has attractions, it has restaurants, it has live entertainment, character meet and greets, and shopping, and all of these things can be a joyful experience if you know what you're doing. If you don't and you go in blind, things may not work out as well as you had originally hoped. My suggestion is plan ahead. Make a list. What attractions are the most important to you? What shows do you want to see, if any? Is there a specific type of food that you're going to be looking for? And most importantly, if you are planning a trip, then you've got to check and see if there are any attractions that are planned to be closed for refurbishment. Disneyland closes specific rides every year so that they can get updated with their paint or make sure all of their mechanics are working. And if these are one of the things that you were hoping to do, and then you get to the park and it's closed, it's going to make you kind of bummed out, and that does not make Disneyland the happiest place on earth. If you have specific or important attractions that you've got to go on when you are there, make sure you look at the map ahead of time. Figure out where in the park that attraction is located. If it is way up at the top at Mickey's Toontown, then you're going to want to run there as soon as you can, whereas something a little closer you wouldn't have to move as quickly to. Check the map also for Fast Pass. If the ride has a Fast Pass, you can go and get a little ticket and it will give you a return time, and then you don't have to wait in the general standby line. You have an hour block where you are going to be permitted to the ride, and it does save you some time, especially if you're on a limited amount of time in the park. And use the official Disneyland app. It's available on Android, it's available on iPhone. This app is pretty close on wait times. It will also give you the location. It'll tell you the height or measurement requirements so that you can ride the ride, or if you have a little one and you're not sure they're going to be tall enough. This app gives you all of that information. It is such a great tool that Disneyland is offering now. If you are on a strict diet or you're picky or you're just curious, that same app will give you all of the restaurants, including kiosks and counters and all of the street vendors, locations, price point. For restaurants, it'll give you the menu where you can actually look at it ahead of time and kind of decide what you're looking for. It'll tell you if there are special food accommodations, like if they offer vegan items or if they have choices just for younger kids or toddlers to eat. If you're just looking for something a little more healthy than just a cheeseburger, this app will also give you that information. It'll also tell you what type of food they're serving. A lot of the Disneyland restaurants serve American cuisine, which is chicken sandwich, hamburgers, popcorn, corn dog, those type of things. But they do offer some other selections, like a Cajun Creole selection or Mexican food restaurants. This app will tell you all of that. Check this before you go. If you check into these things, you will have a greater idea of how much money you need to budget for, where you're going to want to kind of be writing things so that you'll be located next to the restaurant. It's a great tool. Now, if you are on a strict budget and you don't want to blow your budget on food, which is extremely easy to do at Disneyland, then I suggest bringing your own food to the park. Disneyland does not have huge restrictions on bringing things in the park, just as long as it is not in a glass container. Most of the time they'll let you bring it in. One of the things my family does is we will bring our own deli meat and cheese and carry it in a little cooler box, and then you can find a place to get bread, not in Disneyland specifically, but across the way in California Adventure. There's a place where you can buy a loaf of bread. They will slice it for you. There's your bread. Use your meat and cheese, and then At several of the restaurants, they have outdoor condiment stations, and you can get mayonnaise, mustard, even fresh vegetables like tomatoes, onions, lettuce, and that is all free of charge. They're not going to charge you for that. So this is a great way to cut your budget so that you're not spending everything on food. Every day, Disneyland offers so many live performances. From one of the most iconic live performing groups, the Dapper Dans, which is a barbershop quartet that travels up and down Main Street, to the parades and World of Color shows and the stage performances. There's something for everybody. If you like to see live performing of music or dancing or marching bands or piano playing, any of that, those things are also on the schedule. They'll tell you the times that they're available to be out. They'll tell you where they're going to be located. Big suggestion, if you are interested in seeing any of the parades or fireworks or World of Color show or Fantasmic, you're going to want to sit early. If you've got somebody in your group that gets worn out about 12 o'clock, tell them to have a seat on Main Street and just sit there, relax, take a nap, whatever, and hold your spot, and then you'll have a place to sit, because if you wait right up until showtime or performance time, you're really not going to find a place to sit down, and you will have to stand for the whole performance, which after a long day, it's very hard on the legs and feet to just stand there and wait around. If you've got little ones and they want to meet their favorite character, great. Just make sure you check the schedules. The map will tell you where they have characters that come out. There are characters that just kind of wander around and they're not on the schedule, but you'll just come across those. If the weather is too hot, some characters won't stay out as often, but they will come out. They just may have a longer break time. Stay in line. Unless it's the end of the day, that character is going to come back out. There will be a cast member right there. They will tell you how long the wait is going to be. If it's already break time, they won't let you get in line to see the character then, but you could be first in line for when they come back out. Just know that they're going to come back out. You're going to get to see them. Most of them, they're in and out all day long. Some are from 9 in the morning till 8 at night. Others are from 11 in the morning till 6:30 at night. Those are all listed on the daily schedule. Just a heads up, Mickey is available from, I believe, 9 until 8:30 every day at his house in Mickey's Toontown. You go through his little house. It's really very colorful and cartoon-ish. And then at the end, you get to go in a room and meet Mickey and take pictures. And it's so much fun, especially for little ones. It's also fun for grown-ups. I've done it several times. Just remember that they're gonna be around. There's gonna be a character that you can meet and greet. Some of the characters, actually, their station is inside, like the Star Wars characters. They are inside all day. They don't come outside. The Darth Vader and the Chewbacca and stuff, they're inside. It's air conditioned in there. Let your kids or whoever wants to see them get in line. There's benches set up around. Have a seat, let them do their thing, and then meet up with you at a certain time. They're happy, you're happy, everybody's happy. If you go to Disneyland and you have decided that you've got to purchase something, feel free to look around during the day. A lot of the lines for the rides will actually end in a store, so when you come off the ride, the line takes you through a retail store. Go ahead and look around, but my suggestion is don't buy things very early in the day. You're just going to have to carry it around with you, or try to make arrangements with the retail store to store it for you. If you're staying in one of their hotels, that's much easier to do. If not, you have to remember to go back and get it. I'm always afraid I'm going to forget. So just make your purchases at the end of the day. If there's something you saw earlier in the day at a certain store but you can't remember, ask a cast member, describe it to them. Most of them will be able to tell you where that's located, They may even be able to call that location and make sure they've got some before you go all the way to the store. The cast members in the retail stores are very helpful and they know their stuff. They will be able to help you, so take advantage of them. The most important thing, have fun. Remember, their tagline is the happiest place on earth. If you go in and you've planned ahead, sure, some things are not going to go as you planned. That's life. But the majority of the things that you've planned are going to work out just right, and it's going to make your day go so much more smooth, and you really will think at the end of the day that you've just had the best day of your life. I I am a huge fan of Disneyland. These are just some of the tips that I have picked up over the years. I hope that you find them beneficial, and I hope that you will for sure take advantage of them just to make your adventure there so much nicer. I cannot express enough how much better your day will go if you just do a little planning. Check the maps, use the app, uh, make a budget for food because you will go over budget on food. It is not a cheap place to be, and you're going to want to eat that, huge corn dog or ice cream or cotton candy. And those things are all very pricey there, but it's all part of the experience, so you don't want to miss out. I hope that these tips have been helpful for you, and I hope that you're able to use them on your next trip to Disneyland.